Chris Wallace broke news indicating that two frequent guests on the Fox News channel actually assisted Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump's personal lawyer, in digging up dirt for Joe Biden. Take a look.
Fox News has learned the president's private attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was not acting alone in trying to get dirt from Ukrainian officials on 2020 rival Joe Biden. Two high-profile Washington lawyers, Joe DeGenova, who's been a fierce critic of the Democratic investigation, and his wife, Victoria Tensing, were working with Giuliani to get Oppo research on Biden. According to a top U.S. official, all three were working off the books, apart from the administration. The only person in government who knows what they were doing is President Trump. Fox News has also learned the Pentagon, State Department, and National Security Council were unanimous in supporting military aid to Ukraine. President Trump decided to withhold that aid this summer on his own.
So just to give you some more details on what these two usually do when they go on Fox News Channel, they attack individuals who give fair critique and analysis on Donald Trump. So for instance, during an appearance on Tucker Carlson Tonight, DeGenova blasted Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano as a fool for assessing that Trump had committed a crime during his July 25th call with the Ukrainian president. And so they're huge Trump loyalists. Trump was thinking about hiring them as White House counsel. That didn't end up working out, but now they're essentially working as personal lawyers along with Rudy Giuliani to allegedly dig up dirt on Joe Biden.
So they couldn't really pass a background check, even a rudimentary. You can't pass Trump's background check. Oh boy. So, and by the way, Giuliani, I don't know about DeGenova and his wife. I'm sure more of that will come out, but we don't have any specifics yet. But Giuliani does have a lot of business interests in Ukraine and in nearby countries. So, and that's part of the problem. And that's why Giuliani was basically eliminated from having the State Department job because he wanted to be Secretary of State. But he had so many illicit contacts with other countries, he was making money off of them. For him then to be Secretary of State and give out basically the favors that he owes all those people for the millions of dollars that they've given his company and himself, that would have been deeply problematic. Anyway, so these three guys who couldn't pass any of the background checks and are not part of the government are going around representing Trump because Trump has let them, but that also gives the impression to these countries that they represent the United States of America, which they do not. And so on top of that, they're not telling the Fox News audience or anyone else publicly that apparently off the books they're working for Trump on this Ukraine issue. Then they go on Tucker Carlson's show and they say, oh my God, Trump is absolutely right. Well, maybe you should mention that you were working for him off the books. If you're gonna pretend to be an unbiased, I know it's hilarious, Fox News having an unbiased analyst, but yeah. But then when, for example, Napolitano said soliciting in-kind donation from a foreign government like Trump did with Ukraine is clearly illegal, DeGenova comes on Tucker Carlson and goes, he's a fool, and only a foolish man would say something like that, etc. Not saying, oh, by the way, I've been secretly working with Trump on this exact same issue.
Going back to the point that you made about politicians in other countries not knowing whether these personal lawyers working with Trump are conducting official, US business. It reminds me of when Representative Schiff went on cable news and talked about his meeting with Vladimir Zelensky, that's the president of Ukraine. And Zelensky, according to Schiff, was like, is this like official US business? Like what's going on? Is this something that I need to follow through with? Now that's according to what Representative Schiff said, but yeah, I mean, you have essentially this, and the New York Times wrote a great detailed piece on this that also goes into Giuliani's business ties with foreign leaders or foreign countries. There's a shadow foreign policy happening with the Trump administration. And it's all to benefit him. It's not about national security. It's not about benefiting the American people. It's all about doing things that could help him get reelected in 2020.
So, since Trump has blurred the lines so much, you might be confused as to, how all this plays out. So if they're representing themselves as representatives of the United States of America, well then the other side has to be really, really careful. Okay, so our defense systems that we were gonna buy from America, are they at stake? Is the $400 million in funding we were gonna get, is that at stake? If I don't play ball with Giuliani and DeGeneva, both for Trump's reasons and whatever other favors they're asking of me, or whatever other business interests there are, does that jeopardize the $400 million in aid that the US is going to give my government? Is this an official government ask? Or is this some local yokel going like, I don't know, just give me this. Trump says give it to me, right? That's a giant difference. And so that might be among the reasons why Volker, who is the envoy to Ukraine, who Giuliani is throwing under the bus, saying, hey, he sent me. Look, here's the text of Volker talking to me. Just resigned on Friday.
Yes.
So he's gone, okay? And so they're gonna call him up. Did you actually send Giuliani? Was it actually US official business or was it Trump's personal business? And if it's Trump's personal business and he's holding up funding or asking for political donations, both of those are illegal, okay? So people at the State Department are really angry at Giuliani, and that's why they're having a public, unbelievable fight on Fox News, where Giuliani's throwing the State Department under the bus, because they might be in a lot of legal trouble if they were all working for Donald Trump's personal interests and not in the interests of the American people.
Exactly. So, for his part, Giuliani was asked by Maria Bartiromo about whether or not he's been working with other lawyers in digging up dirt, and here's his answer.
Did you work with other lawyers?
I have never, in my discussion.
Did you work with other lawyers, Victoria Tunsing, Joseph DeGeneva, to try to get dirt on Joe Biden?
No, I didn't work with anybody to try to get dirt on Joe Biden. The dirt on Joe Biden was handed to me by the Ukrainians, amazed that the FBI hadn't asked for this a year earlier, completely shocked and worried that our system of justice was flawed.
Okay, can I just jump in? Yeah, did you notice what he did there? First, he gave a hesitant no. If you've ever dealt with kids, you know what the hesitant no is, okay? No, okay. Then he figured out how to cover it up. He's like, no, I didn't work with them on getting dirt on Joe Biden. That was given to me. So he didn't say he didn't work with them. He didn't say he didn't work with them on Ukraine. He said, I didn't work with them on Ukraine to get dirt on Joe Biden because I got that through other means. So that's a lawyerly answer. I'm surprised Giuliani could pull it off, the state, his mental state being what it is. He actually gave a decent lawyerly answer to wiggle out of that one.
Right, so you're right. But one other thing I wanted to note, just to fact check him right off the bat, he actually met with Ukraine's top prosecutor, Yuri Lutsenko, twice before March of this year, right? So he was working to get the top prosecutor to do these investigations. One of the investigation was into Paul Manafort. There's this crazy conspiracy theory by those on the right that it was a witch hunt and it was all made up. Of course, that's not true. There's overwhelming evidence indicating that Paul Manafort broke the law. But the other investigation was, of course, into Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden and his role in a gas company in Ukraine. So that's what's really going on. That's why this impeachment inquiry has begun. And more importantly, the evidence is so overwhelming. Just that transcript and the whistleblower complaint that we can now look at and just dissect. It's such overwhelming evidence that all these Republicans who keep going on cable news to defend Trump are failing miserably, and it's wonderful to watch it.
No, but I'm sure that Tucker Carlson tonight is gonna go on air and apologize to his audience and say, hey, I had this guy on repeatedly. He never told me that he was working with Trump behind the scenes while defending him on my air. And as my guest, I should have warned you guys, this guy's got a dog in the fight, right? He's actually working with Trump while pretending to be an unbiased analyst on my program. I'm sure that's going to happen tonight. Or perhaps not.
Yeah.
Or perhaps Tucker Carlson will yell at Shep Smith more for having an actual legal analyst on his program.
Yeah. All right. By the way, props to Chris Wallace. Don't agree with him on most things. I got to put that caveat out there, but good for him for reporting the truth.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And today, of course, two things happen, guys, real quick. One, the other hosts put pressure and other people at Fox News put pressure on Chris Wallace. But two, the audience puts enormous pressure. You sell out, you're the worst. Chris Wallace came back today and he's like, nope, the reporting is accurate and I'm not backing away from it for not even an inch. There's nothing wrong with being conservative. We could have those debates and we could yell at each other, etc. But being honest is the most important thing. And Wallace, Napolitano, Shep Smith at Fox News have proven through this cycle that they are honest actors. We might disagree with them on the issues and policies, but they are honest. And that's a rare thing to find at Fox News. So yes, credit to them. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.